Only 1% know this one rule that demands instant respect. Think about that for a second. There's a reason why some people walk into a room, say almost nothing, and suddenly everyone notices them. Heads turn, conversations pause. It's not magic, it's not fame. It's something deeper, a silent force that instantly commands respect. But here's the truth, 99% of people have no idea what this rule is, and even fewer know how to apply it. This is not about pretending, it's not about being fake. It's about unlocking a principle that separates the respected from the ignored. Today, I'm going to reveal that one rule. A principle so subtle, yet so powerful, that once you start using it, people will never see you the same way again. Let's begin. In today's world, people chase many things: likes, followers, applause, and approval. But in the end, none of it truly matters if you don't have respect. Respect is not loud, it's not flashy, but it's incredibly powerful. It's the difference between someone listening to you or just waiting for their turn to speak. It's what makes people take you seriously, without you having to shout, beg, or prove anything. You see, being liked is optional, but being respected is essential. A person can like your personality and still ignore your boundaries, but when they respect you, they listen, they observe, they adjust. Respect gives weight to your words. It adds gravity to your silence. It's the quiet power behind true influence. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen someone with very little social status, but somehow they were treated like a leader? It was not because of money or fame. It was something else, something invisible yet undeniable. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. The truth is, respect is not something you ask for, it's something you command. By how you carry yourself, how you speak, and even more importantly, by what you choose not to say. That's where the one rule comes in. The rule that only 1% truly live by. The rule that shifts the energy in a room without a single word. And in the next few moments, you're going to learn exactly what that rule is and how to use it for the rest of your life. So what is the one rule that only 1% know, yet it instantly commands respect? It's called the rule of silent authority, and it's deceptively simple. Never explain yourself unless it's absolutely necessary. That's it. This rule is not about arrogance or silence for the sake of mystery. It's about emotional discipline and controlled presence. When you stop constantly explaining yourself, you start projecting strength, confidence, and certainty, even without trying. Think about it. When someone feels the need to justify every action, defend every opinion, or over-explain their decisions, what message does that send? It says, I need you to agree with me. It screams insecurity. But when you act, speak, and move without needing validation, it shows you trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, others begin to trust and respect you. The rule of silent authority means letting your actions speak louder than your explanations. It means embracing the power of stillness, clarity, and mystery. The 1% don't try to convince you. They simply lead. They don't overshare. They choose their words with precision. And that makes people lean in, listen, and follow. So remember this. When you explain less, you influence more. This rule doesn't just change how people see you. It transforms how you see yourself. In the next section, we'll expose how most people unknowingly destroy their own respect, and how you can avoid falling into that trap. If the rule of silent authority builds instant respect, then what do most people do wrong? Simple. They talk too much, explain too often, and defend things that need no defense. Let's break it down. Imagine someone makes a decision, and the moment they're questioned, they panic and start over-explaining. I only did that because I thought it would help. I did not mean anything by it. I just wanted to be clear. Sound familiar? This type of behavior subconsciously communicates weakness. It tells others, I'm unsure of myself and I need you to understand me before I can feel okay. That neediness immediately lowers your perceived authority. Now, understand this, explaining yourself is not always wrong, but the mistake people make is doing it habitually, even when it's not needed. In situations where silence or a simple statement would show control, they instead give long, nervous explanations. They apologize for their tone, their choices, even their presence. And every time they do, they shrink themselves in the eyes of others. Here's the painful truth. The more you try to get people to understand you, the less they respect you. Because real respect is not earned by seeking approval. It's earned by standing firm in your values, calm, clear, and unshaken. Next, we'll look at the psychology behind why silence and certainty trigger respect, and how to use it strategically in your daily life. Why does the rule of silent authority work so powerfully, especially when it seems so simple? The answer lies in human psychology. First, let's talk about the power of silence. In communication science, silence is rarely neutral. It's either interpreted as weakness or as control. When used intentionally, silence becomes a tool of dominance. It forces others to lean in, fill the gaps, or wait for your next move. Then there's certainty bias, a concept from behavioral psychology. People naturally follow those who appear certain, even if that certainty is not backed by logic. When you speak and act without over-explaining, you project confidence, and confidence, to the human brain, equals credibility. Now add social dominance theory, which says that those who speak less and reveal less are perceived as higher status. Think of top leaders, respected elders, or even mysterious figures in movies. Their quiet presence often holds more power than 1,000 loud voices. A Harvard study once observed conflict resolution among business teams. The results? Individuals who remained calm and spoke the least during tension were consistently rated as more dominant, more intelligent, and more respected, regardless of their job title. The takeaway? Silence, backed by certainty, is not emptiness, it's strategy. When you embrace the rule of silent authority, you align with a deep, subconscious human instinct to follow those who don't need to explain themselves. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover exactly how to apply this rule in real-life scenarios so you can experience its power for yourself. So how can you start applying the rule of silent authority in your everyday life? It begins with awareness. Start paying attention to how often you feel the urge to explain yourself. You'll notice it happens more than you think, at work, in relationships, and even online. But with discipline, you can shift from reacting to responding, and from over-explaining to commanding quiet respect. In meetings or group discussions, speak less but ensure that what you say carries weight. Don't ramble or feel pressured to justify your opinion. Instead, deliver clear points and stop. The silence after your words often leaves more impact than the words themselves. In conflict situations, especially heated ones, avoid the trap of defending yourself emotionally. Unless your explanation will directly resolve the issue, hold it back. Calm silence, paired with steady eye contact, often wins more ground than any argument. In personal relationships, you don't have to justify every mood, decision, or boundary. The more secure you are with your choices, the less others feel entitled to question them. Say what needs to be said and leave it there. Online, this rule is even more critical. Avoid reacting to every comment, every criticism, every misunderstanding. The algorithm may reward noise, but real respect is born from restraint. Imagine your boss questions your decision. Instead of launching into a defensive speech, simply reply, "That was a strategic choice." Then stop. Don't fill the silence. Let them respond. That pause communicates more confidence than 1,000 justifications ever could. The less you explain, the more power your presence begins to carry. Respect is not something you chase, it's something you attract. Now, we'll explore real-world examples of people who mastered this rule and how you can model their behavior. Throughout history, and even in daily life, we see individuals who embody the rule of silent authority effortlessly. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. He did not spend time defending or explaining his creative choices. He made bold decisions, communicated them simply, and let the results speak for themselves. That confidence, without justification, built a legacy of respect and innovation. Consider Barack Obama during intense press interviews. He rarely reacted emotionally or rushed to defend his words. Instead, he used silence strategically, pausing before speaking, keeping his tone low and steady. That calm presence made people listen, even if they disagreed. Even in fiction, we see this. Think of the classic mafia boss archetype. He doesn't yell. does not chase validation. He speaks slowly, if at all. His silence is his strength. The quieter he is, the more powerful he becomes. And you've probably seen it in real life too, that one student, employee, or colleague who rarely speaks, but when they do, everyone listens. It's not what they say, it's the energy behind their words. These examples prove one thing: you don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You need to raise your presence, and silence, when used with purpose, is the loudest form of strength. Mastering the rule of silent authority doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing the right things with precision. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is body language. Maintain steady eye contact, not aggressive, but firm. Keep your shoulders open, your posture straight, and your hands still. Avoid nervous fidgeting. Stillness projects control. Movement, when unnecessary, signals anxiety. Next, focus on controlling your tone. Speak slowly and clearly. Use fewer words, but make them count. A calm, composed tone often says more than a long, passionate explanation. Silence between sentences is not awkward, it's powerful. Another secret? Use short, definitive one-liners. These subtle statements end conversations without inviting debate. For example, "I've already decided." "That's handled." "I understand." These phrases communicate clarity and finality. No emotion, no need for defense. Finally, resist the urge to always fill silence. Let it work for you. Most people fear silence. It makes them uncomfortable. But when you embrace it, you signal power, certainty, and emotional control. Remember, authority is not about volume. It's about presence. These small adjustments, when used consistently, will reinforce the rule and reshape how people perceive you, quietly but permanently. The truth is simple. Only 1% understand the rule of silent authority. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about mastering the urge to explain, to justify, to prove. When you drop the need for validation, people sense it, and they respond with respect. For the next 7 days, I challenge you. Don't explain yourself unnecessarily. Don't over-explain your choices. Don't react to every opinion, just observe what happens. You'll notice something powerful. People begin to treat you differently. They listen more, they question less, and they start to respect your presence without you having to say a word. Have you ever witnessed someone who had that quiet power? Someone who did not need to explain themselves, yet everyone respected them? If yes, comment below. Let's find out how many of you are already in that 1%.